At times, you'll need to query tables or other data sources that aren't related, that don't share a join, and you have two options for doing that. You can use an intermediate table, a table that shares joins with the data sources you want to use, or if you don't have any intermediate tables, you can add joins. So I'll start with the intermediate table, and as an example, in this database, employees have to enter a status for each order, but sometimes they forget. The question you want to answer then is which orders don't have a status and which employees forgot to enter them. On the surface, it looks like we need to use three tables in the query: employees, orders, and order details status, because they correspond to the data points in our question: which orders don't have a status and which employees forgot to enter the status. So add them to the query, and you can see these two tables aren't joined, but that's okay, right? I can add joins. So I'll join on the ID fields, run the query, and nothing. So now I'll do what I should have done in the first place and look at the relationships between the tables. And when I do, you can see what looks like a chain of relationships here: employees to orders, orders to order details, and order details to order details status. So orders and order details status aren't related, but order details is related to them both, so that makes order details my intermediate table. And in turn, that leads to a rule. As long as the intermediate tables are part of your data source, you can query these unrelated tables and get a valid result. You don't have to include the intermediate table in your results, but it has to be part of your query's data source. So I'll add order details to the query, keep the fields the same, and run the query. Filter for blank values, and there's your answer. Now let's add a join to a query, and to do this, you need to keep some more rules in mind. First, the tables or queries you want to join need to have fields with matching or compatible data types. And as an example of that, the number and currency data types are compatible, but number and text aren't. Second, the join you create only resides in your query. You're not creating a table relationship here. And third, the results should make sense. If the join returns data on orders and company cars, for example, you should probably start over. So as an example, let's say we need to know which customers ordered which products. I'll add customers, orders, and order details to a new query. And now I'll add the join. I'll drag customer ID from customers to the matching field in the orders table. There's the join line, and here's another rule. Access places the field you drag on the left side of the new join. If that isn't what you want, select the join line, press delete, and start over. Now that we've got that taken care of, we can build the query. I'll add first name and last name from customers, then product ID, order ID, quantity, and unit price from order details. Run the query, and there's your data. If you're wondering, it would have been easier and more logical to create a table relationship between the customers and orders tables. If you don't remember how to do that, see the second course in this series, Creating Relationships Between Your Tables. And from here, you continue building your database by creating forms and reports. Forms can make data entry easier, faster, and a lot more accurate, and they also give your database a polished look and feel. Reports are how you present your information visually. They're where you use charts and graphs, for example. And for information on creating forms and reports, see the links in the course summary, and thank you for your time. Thanks for taking these courses.